And we're live. Okay, let us, what are we doing? We want to share this on Twitter. That's what we want to do. Come join me. Okay, so I have this monster of a beer. It's half a freaking liter. Oh my gosh. We're gonna have fun. So let's open this up. This, I like this bottle cap. It's just, it's simplistic, but it's also really cool. Anyway, this is another winter beer. I don't know if it's a dark one or a light one. It's spiced. It smells nice. Let's check out the color. Oh, it's a light one. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. And the sad thing is there's still like half the bottle left. I hope I like this. It's gonna be awkward if I don't, because there's so much. Ooh, look at the head on this. Wow, I did a good job there. Here's the color. It's light, and it's showing up like way darker than it is in real life, because it's not this golden color. It's more vibrant yellow. It's just because I think of the lights. Anyway, let's smell this. This doesn't smell like a winter beer. I know it's supposed to be spiced. Okay, the site says an infusion of 6 spices during the brewing and dry hopping, a round and mellow amber. Oh, it's an amber beer. And the spices bring a warm and pleasant taste of caramel and cookies. So now that we know what it's supposed to taste like, let's see if it lives up to cookies and caramel. Isn't it? Okay, I sort of get a caramel note. I feel like they've never had cookies, because it definitely doesn't taste like cookies. And there's such a salty flavor that is just so overpowering that like it doesn't mix well with that like sweet caramel note that's in there. I don't know if I like it. It's definitely an interesting beer and worth trying. It's just I'm not feeling that customer delight, because my expectations when it comes to winter beers is like here. And don't get me wrong, the bar is still up here. It's just, it's all the way over here because it's something different. I don't like poo-pooing on the beers, but I'm not feeling this one. Maybe it's because it's an amber. Tease up. Also not really feeling the artwork, like, there's just so much wrong. And I say that in jest. But there's nothing really Christmas or like Christmassy or like wintry about the design of the artwork. And even the back, it's just yeah. There's nothing that stands out. I feel like I just got this because it's a winter beer and I wanted winter beers. Ooh, Tasty Tales. Hi there, Kathryn. Sounds like a really interesting beer. Never tasted it. Gesundheit it. Well, thank you. It's interesting. It doesn't taste wintry in my opinion. I just realized this is all messed up. Here, we'll move these down a bit and we'll put this here so that you can still see the bottle. Okay, this is gonna bug me now. This is all messed up because I was doing a presentation in communication class and I needed props. So I used the beer bottles that I had to demonstrate that I drank these 2 beers because I was doing a thingy on British. It went well. I was very happy. But anyway, yeah. It pays to drink beer because in any instance where you need to do a presentation in communications class, you'll have props to use. Shh, I'm doing a review. Stupid clock. Let's try this some more. That salty note. There's just too much of it. Hold on. What are the ingredients on here? Does it have it in English? No. Okay, we're going to read this one. There's water, barley malt, hops, yeast, and spices. Now the barley malt should be sweet. Spices should be spicy. Maybe the salty flavor is coming from the yeast and the hops. Because normally with the hops, and I'm not an expert, mind you, I'm just sort of basing on my limited experiences, that hops tend to have sort of bitter, salty-ish flavors, but I'm not getting any bitter notes, just salty. And you all know I don't like the salty. I feel like if this hadn't been marketed as a winter beer, I'd be so much happier. No, they're not. It's just, it's spices. Yeah, and on the website, it says there's 6 spices, so. And it's supposed to taste like caramel and cookies. I don't know what cookies that they're trying wherever. I think it has to be from the French side because a lot of this is in French. I don't know what cookies they're trying wherever the brewery is, but it doesn't taste like cookies. Just, it doesn't. I can get a caramel note. And it's disappointing because salted caramel is something that I really enjoy. And I think there was such a potential to have salted caramel, and that would have worked. But there's too much salt, and it's not like the salt that goes with caramel, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm so disappointed because I feel like this is such an epic fail on the branding side. Or it could just be me, but when I think of winter beers or Christmas beers, I do have this sort of stereotype now, or not stereotype, we're going to say expectation of what I sort of expect it to taste like and go in like a certain direction. And this just, it's not filling any of the boxes. It doesn't taste the right amount of spices. Like, I'm not even getting spices from this. I couldn't even name the spices. If there's a sour note that's on the vinegar side. There's a sweet note in there that does taste like caramel, and then there's a salty note. And it's an interesting combination. I think it does work. It just doesn't work in the context of a winter beer. It doesn't. It makes me mad because I was expecting a winter beer. It's not. Because I'm also not getting that. Sometimes you get winter beers and they don't taste like winter beers, but they have that warm, sitting by a fire type feel to it. So it's still, you get that Christmas feel. And I don't have that with this. It doesn't taste warm. It's sort of light and springy in the taste and the mouthfeel of it. So I'm not getting winter. This feels more like a heavy spring beer. Like the kind of beer that you drink in spring when it's supposed to be spring, but it's still winter, and you don't want to drink something that's actually winter, but you also can't go fully into spring. Like, I feel like right now this is a perfect time to drink this beer because I live in Belgium and we keep having these whiplash weather occurrences where one week it's super warm and you can go out in shorts and a t-shirt because it's hot. And then the next week it's winter again and you need your winter coat, a hat, and a scarf. And I feel like this beer like matches that description so well that this is when you should drink it. So maybe it's a winter beer in that context, in which case I take back everything that I said. This works completely. Only downside to this, and I don't know if I mentioned it, is this comes in at 8% ABV and it's a half freaking liter bottle. Like, look at this monster. It's huge. Why is it so big? It's supposed to be 33 liters. Or not 33 liters, 33 centiliters. At least I think that's what the standard is. Yeah, 33 centiliters. And then I think the small ones are like 25. Yes, 25. It's supposed to be spring, but it feels like winter. That sounds like living in a corona pandemic for over a year. Oh, I don't know, the whole corona thing. That's let's have a sip before we go down that road. Okay, it's sort of growing on me now. It still doesn't taste winter though. So I fully expected not to go back to school until we got our vaccines. I know so many people who they're working from home because they don't have vaccines yet. And yet my school is like, we're going to open up for 1 week or 1 day out of the week. And I sent an email to my teacher being like, I don't want to go back. It's not warm enough for a winter beer. Just, it isn't. It's too light. Oh, I got my second shot today for COVID-19. I'm so happy for you and also jealous because I won't be due for mine in September. And I sent a letter to, well, it's my accounting teacher who's also the head of the department because I didn't know who else to reach out to because I really don't want to go back to school. And part of it is that if I go back, I am going to have to get up earlier and I'm just being lazy and don't want to. But also there's a pandemic and I don't want to get corona. I know too many people in my family who got corona and some of them ended up in the hospital and also some of them have had really bad symptoms about it. Haha, today you to be drunk. Actually, this is 8% and it's a half liter. And honestly, it's one of those beers that I don't feel it going to my head, but that probably means that once I'm finished with this and I get up, I'm going to say, ooh, I'm a bit more tipsy than I thought I was because that's how beers in Belgium work. Actually, I feel like that's how alcohol in general in Belgium works. Because you have Genever, which is gin, that's 40% proof, but it doesn't taste like alcohol. And so you down a whole glass of Genever and it doesn't taste like alcohol. And then you stand up and you realize, oh, no, it was alcohol. There's so much salt in this. I'm not digging the salt and I don't understand where the salt taste came from. It has to be the yeast. That's the only thing that I can think. Because yeast has that weird It just has a weird taste to yeast. Of course, I'm thinking of like yeast when you make bread, so I don't actually know if it's the same type of yeast or not. See, if I was a proper beer reviewer, I would know these things, but I'm not, and I don't. Because I'm all about the experience and not the expertise. Because I feel like that's the great part about drinking beer in Belgium is that it's not really about being an expert. It's just having a good beer, chatting with people, not right now because we're in a pandemic, so we do it online because we're responsible, and just doing new things and creating memories and experiences and finding a beer that works for your personality. I don't feel like this one works for my personality. I'm happy that I tasted it. It's just, it doesn't work for winter. You don't need the expertise to enjoy it, right? Exactly. That's what I like about the beer community in Belgium, is that anybody can just try beer. You want to make videos on it? Go ahead. Just enjoy the beer. Learn something about the beer. Learn something about the brewery or the techniques or whatever. Or just enjoy the beer versus like the community which I'm not even involved in, so I shouldn't even really be talking about it. It's just based on my observations of people that I know involved in the beer community in the United States, is that it doesn't look like it's fun because there's just so much drama. There's not drama in Belgium. Like, the only drama in Belgium that you'll have in the beer community is if you find somebody and they have their favorite beer and you haven't tried it, and then it becomes this whole conversation on how you have to try their favorite beer. But I also like that because I like to try new things. And then if you happen to find somebody who you've tried their favorite beer, you can have this epic conversation. It's so great. It's the greatest icebreaker for Belgium. Because you can always talk about beer with Belgians. And if you also want to trigger Belgians, you can say that you think Duvel sucks, which it does. I know I just said fighting words there, but I don't like Duvel. It's not tasty. I feel like so many people just like it because it's the big name brand. It's like, no, there's so many better blonde beers that you can find by like smaller breweries that are produced locally, like wherever you live. De Poos, for example, which is probably going to be somewhere on that side. I don't see it. But that is like my favorite blonde beer, De Poos. It's just, I don't like blonde beers in general. I like the dark ones. I like ones that have flavor. And I'm going to say blonde ones typically don't have good flavors. I don't understand why people like them. The dark ones are so much better. Teasel. Have you tried Sonder 10? I don't know if it's the 10 one. Where? See, it's all messed up now because, oh, here we go. This is De Poos. This is the beer that I was talking about. This is like the best blonde that I've ever had. And the people who own the brewery are so amazing because I made a post on this and they talked to me, and I like when breweries talk to me. I have tried a Sundert. Oh no, it's an 8 that I tried. I tried this one. And I'm going to say something, and it's going to make all the Belgians really, really angry. But if I had to choose my favorite beer of all time, like, this one is it, and it's not even Belgian. And I feel so bad, but oh my gosh, this beer was so delicious. And I went into it expecting to hate it, and because it's not Belgian beer. Like, Belgians make top quality beer. And even going into it with the mindset that this was going to suck because it's not Belgian, but no, by the end of it, I was like, ooh, like this, no. Granted, I think that's the only beer from the Netherlands that I'm aware of that I've tried. I think there might be a few others, but at least that 100% I know is from the Netherlands. And so I'm basing the quality and amazingness of Dutch beer based on that one beer, which probably isn't fair. Especially considering just the vast number of Belgian beers that I've tried that are delicious. But that one was really good. I've heard the 10 is really good, but I haven't found that. Somebody recommended the Sunder in general, because I know that there was multiples. And I found that one in a box set of beers, and that's how I got it. And I specifically got that box set because I wanted that one beer in it. I need to find an actual beer store. I had one and then we moved. And I live in Belgium. It's not like it's that far away. It's a 20-minute drive, but I haven't gone there. And I'm not going and buying beer. I have so much beer I need to try. Oh my goodness. There is honestly probably 16 beers in the fridge that I need to get through and drink. There's like 4 beers that I pre-recorded and did a Beer Mistress beer review thing that needs to be edited. Someday it will come on here whenever I find time to edit again. And then I have probably 16 beers that are outside of the fridge. Okay. The Trappist is also from the... Oh, is it? I think I might have had that. I don't know. Oh, hello, Ver Koning. Your name is still always hard. And then Sundered is a closed community. You cannot visit the brewery. It was really special. Oh, I'll have to check that out. Like, you really do. Like, for those who are watching, if you don't know, Tasty Tales makes these amazing, what would you call them? Like, biographical videos on the breweries. And I just love them so much. You guys make really great videos. I'm gonna have to clean these up now. Show off all my beers. That's something that I do, by the way, because occasionally for classes we'll have to get on camera, and I don't want to have a boring background, so I'll set up the camera over here in front of all the beers just so that there's a talking point and that I can waste time so that we have less class. Oh, you're very welcome, Tasty Tales. Like, I love your videos. I don't comment, which I know I'm a horrible, horrible person because I know that type of thing really helps the algorithm, but I do watch your videos. Except for now because I'm in school and I can do a weekly beer review live stream and I can go to classes and I can study, and that's my life. It's sad. I'm hoping that like something's going to give and I'll be able to come up with some other idea. But it's a very interesting adventure right now because I'm learning all these really nifty things in school. Half of them I don't understand, and so I have to spend so much time studying to figure it out. And it makes me feel stupid because it's not clicking like that. But it is, I'm learning so much fun things. I should do a video on that. Tell you guys what I've learned and all that. Anyway, thanks everybody for joining me today. I'm really happy that I got to try this. It's still not in my mind a winter beer. It's more of a late winter, early spring beer in my opinion. Maybe try it if you find it. It has a very interesting taste profile, but it's definitely not a winter beer. And I have no idea what the spices are. I know that there's 6 of them because it says so on the website, but I didn't taste any of them. It was just salty, sort of sour, salty, really salty with a minor caramel note. But it was interesting. Anyways, that's what I have for you guys this week. I hope that you enjoyed this. And if you did, like, give it a thumbs up and all that because that does help with the algorithm. And thank you for Tasty Tales and Verkoning and my mom and who else was here? Oh, the Mumbongo Hates for joining me tonight. I'll see you guys in the next one. Tootsies, my apple scenes.